was in the street and this woman said to me, I think you're standing on my toe. And I said, how do you know that? And she said, well, I can feel it, and you're the only one here. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, we're walking in the street and you just came right over to me and just stood on my toe on purpose. I said, I didn't see you. And she said, well, I'm the same height, we're both about, 5'9". How was it that you didn't see me? I said, I'm sorry, I was just like walking and knew I didn't see you, and that's it. And she said, oh, well, you stood on my toe. I said, well, I didn't mean to. She says, well, I think you did. And then I said, well, sometimes this happens a lot, doesn't it? When you don't realise that you're near to somebody in the street, you don't realise about the proximity. Like when you're in a restaurant, you go into an empty restaurant here, and you take a seat in the corner at a table, and then the next people that come in, although the restaurant is entirely empty, they come and sit right next to you, on a table right next to you. Why is that? And she says, well, she doesn't know why. So I said, well, I don't know why I stood on your toe then. In that, I didn't see you. And I'm just living my own life. I didn't want to stand on your toe. Sorry about that. I was in the airport the other day, and this woman with quite large breasts and a tight t-shirt, and she had "feed me" written on the t-shirt, so I didn't really know what that meant. So while I was walking through to the airport to do a bit of shoplifting, I saw a woman the other day in the airport, and she was actually doing that. She was doing shoplifting. When I said that I was joking, that was a joke, but I didn't expect anybody to laugh because it was more observational. Well, not even observational, it was just like a commentary, wasn't it? It might be something you'd put on Facebook, isn't it? Just doing some shoplifting. Or just put some salt and pepper on my fish finger. And I'd put that on YouTube. Anything interesting, isn't it? As long as it's interesting, it goes up there on Facebook. Sorry, not YouTube, Facebook. And this woman had "feed me" like on a t-shirt, and she said, "feed me," and I said, well. And she said, come in here, and she pointed to like the ladies, so, just as an experiment, I followed her in. Because I said, what do you mean, feed me? What is this, a sexual thing? She just said, feed me. So, well, we went into this ladies, and we went into like this cubicle. And she said, feed me, and then she turned the lights off as we went into the ladies. And they're just being clean, so we're all hygienically possible in my book. It's got to be clean, hasn't it, wherever you go. Don't like filth, stinking filth everywhere. She said, feed me, and her eyes started like glowing like headlights. And she said, feed me, and then all of a sudden all her skin started to go all scaly. Which isn't unlike a toilet, isn't it? Because you get scale on a toilet, don't you? But it wasn't that. It was scaly in the sense of reptilian, not the sense of like the build-up of lime deposits on a porcelain bowl which receives excrement. And she said she started turning like into this scaly monster, and then in the end I figured it out. She like turned into a lizard. She was like a lizard. She said, feed me. So I said, now that you've changed into like metamorphosis into a lizard, and you're saying feed me, it's moved off from like a sexual connotation onto like real, like you actually mean feed me. It's like talking about alimentation, aren't you? She said, yeah, feed me. I said, what is it you want? She says, I want 3 mice. I said, well, you can't get mice here, can you, in the airport? She said, you'll have to go to a pet shop. I said, well, I'm waiting to get on a flight. I can't go into a pet shop. I know there's one near the cupola in Madrid, but that's in the north. It's not far actually from Barracas. I think it's M40 I'd need to take. And she said, feed me. So I said, well, I can't. I just won't have time. But anyway, she snatched like my clutch bag that I had, which is a clutch bag for men. It doesn't look effeminate in any way whatsoever. Anyway, so she took this and on my passport and all my, my ticket and boarding pass were on there and everything. She said, "You're not having this back till you feed me." So I just had to go and, just to run out and, got a taxi and went to this pet shop and got a couple, 2 or 3 mice. Well, I got 6, you see, because I didn't know if she'd get hungry later. Because sometimes, if you want to, you think if you're peckish you'll have 3, but sometimes you can eat loads, so I thought I'd get 6. I thought that's double requirements, and that would have been better for all round. So that by the time I'd step in on my plane, she'd be still feeding, wouldn't she, eating these mice. And anyway, I gave her them, and then just as we were boarding, getting in the queue, she passed about an hour afterwards, and she'd turned back into her human form, which was nice. Anyway, it was great. But it's funny, life's strange, isn't it? I believe that you should do favours for people.